should, because they're reflecting real world things, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for things that are produced and individual or personal new IPs.
Well, and I think, in a discussion of, the impact of a medium on society or a piece of media content on society, we can't overlook things that adhere to reality, just in favor of things that are, conceived by the imagination. Just like where, I wouldn't think it would be right in television to say, we're only going to examine sitcoms and we're not going to look at sports games. We're not going to look at the NFL.
When you play a sports game, you're not playing it for a story or a character background. There's no delving into the past. You don't really even know what ethnicity the characters even are. All you can see is skin color, and really you group them all together based on what jersey they have.
Well, that does.
In sports games, the creator isn't choosing
Yeah, they're not.
to put those people in there. That's what it is.
That's why.
You're not really assuming the role of any of the football players you're playing
Yeah,
the team.
you're
Whether
playing.
they represent reality or not, you'll still play them. So you'll still see things the same way, like as they would any adventure story. They'll be like, oh, okay, well he's a black character, so that's really cool. So I'll play him or something like that. And they make the choices, and they'll still remember them. So it's still the same concept. It's just based upon reality, and it's something that's hard. We can't change it, but it doesn't mean that they are not going to think of it the same way.
And taking a counter stance to the stance that I took in the previous question, I look at things that, specifically concerning video games. Sports games do take influence from other organizations besides the game industry, and B, other media platforms besides the game industry. Players are drafted into the NFL and then they're seen on TV, and a lot of the fame that they garner is through the TV coverage of NFL. Then that helps to sell the games. So, the game industry has very little influence about what happens in sports games. Similarly, you could argue that games that are made off of movies, games that are released alongside a major motion picture, those have outside influence that are not necessarily rooted in the game industry or the development of games.
I think they should focus solely on role-playing games, where there's a central character. And I think what they should probably do, save as bet they could possibly do, is move it to a games where they all have character customization.
They should concentrate on original IPs.
Yeah.
Because, you've got games like Metroid where you play a female, where you never really see this person. And I remember back when I was a kid, people didn't even know Samus was a girl until the very end of the game, and they'd always assumed it was a guy. And you beat the game, and you realize it's a girl, and just like, holy crap.